Okay, good morning and welcome back to another video. Today, this has been the first time this has been seen on the channel, and this is the replacement for the £700 MX-5 challenge that we're doing. This is the next purchase, shall we say. Of course, in the last videos you would have seen, I'm dying, it's very early in the morning. We were playing GTA races till very late last night, and I'm very tired. But anyway, that's no excuse. We sold the silver MX-5 for £2,700, which was in the previous video, somewhere around there, I can't remember now. We've bought this for £1,000, and there's a reason why it's not £700 or, this is the £1,000, which is basically the max which I'm wanting to purchase for this challenge. But let's walk around it. Right, the engine runs completely. It's got a little bit of lifter tap, which we're going to do an oil change and let it run for a bit to sort that out. Secondly, the reason why it was so cheap for £1,000 is this paintwork. You can see here, all the lacquer is starting to peel off, headlights, and the worst bit was this bonnet. The guy basically tried to do it in a really nice metallic green. Didn't know what he's doing when it comes to the lacquer, and yeah, there's leaves, everything else inside of it, and yeah, it didn't quite go to plan for him. Secondly, the other reason why I got it for £1,000 and it wasn't stupidly high up was it originally didn't come with any seats in. I put a message out on one of our MX-5 group chats and someone said, oh yeah, just come and pick them up. This one's a bit naff, this seat, but I've got another one somewhere. And it basically just needs a lot of screws holding in the rest of the insides of the car, because for some reason it doesn't have very many of them. And well, at this point you're probably going, well, Tom, that doesn't make it £1,000 car at this point. You probably could have got that for £700, £800. But no, there's one thing which makes this car amazing, and it's so much better than what anyone else would have done. And that is, this car is 99.9%, 99% rust-free. The most common bits in the arches is down here. Normally the moisture gets trapped behind this bit of plastic, and there's something you need to look out for when you're buying your first MX-5. Is basically try and take one of these bits of plastic off. The moisture gets trapped down here, and it basically causes a massive rust hole. And also checking these wings. These wings are absolutely perfect. Feel the inside of them, there'll probably be a bit of dirt in there, but you can feel it bubbling on the inside before you feel it on the outside. And next is, well, it's a full hardtop. It needs a lot of attention. There's a lot of chips. So there's a bit of a chip there. And he's done a really bad spray job on it. It's been rattle can black. There's overspray all over the glass. That'll be the first thing we do in this video, is we get rid of that. What else is not working? There's some issues with the radio and the speakers. We put a new radio in, but it's saying there's an amp issue, which basically means there's a short somewhere in the wiring. I think maybe there actually isn't any speakers in the doors. Yeah, back to the paintwork. The paintwork's not the best. And we're missing a window regulator. That is just not doing anything to the door. And when I said no rust, this is the only bit of rust there is. So basically we'd cut it here, weld a panel in there. But yeah, no, I took the plastic off this side. You can see there's literally no rust. There's surface rust, but it's an old MX-5, that's expected at this point. But yeah, apart from that, it's literally just like some bulbs which are out. And yeah, we've got a new whiteboard, so what we're going to do, we're going to tally up everything, how much I bought the car for, how much everything has cost, how much I've put into it, and then how much we sell it right at the bottom. Basically, you guys can see how we're doing this, how this series is going to work, basically. But yeah, without further ado, that's it. Okay, so without further ado, bearing in mind we haven't done much yet, this is the first bit of work. So originally, we bought the car for £1,000. not bad. We need to do some sanding on it. We got paint work, but currently, as of right now, I spent £160 in petrol, diesel, to go get the car from Liverpool, which is where I bought it from. We had to get a new battery for the vehicle, which was £45. We had to get a new radio, which was £70. Seats were free. I'm going to have to get a repair panel for this side, which is 80. I think it's like 80. We're going to say it's £80 for the time being. And yeah, that's it so far. We may need to get some small little bits and pieces, so I'll make sure I add it to the collection. Well, add it to the total. We've got some oil as well for an oil change, which was 40 quid as well. Oil filter. Yeah, we're going to need to do a service kit at some point on it, because I just do it on all the vehicles that I buy, because you never know what's happening when you buy the vehicle. But that's the rundown for the time being. And let's get into working on this car. Okay, well, the first thing we just need to do into the car, we miss an indicator. Easy as anything, of course, if anyone's ever actually worked on one of these before. It's just 2 screws and the entire headlight, indicator component comes out, and then it should, hopefully, what I'm thinking, is there's just nothing in the back. And hopefully it's not short or anything in the wiring, or it's got LEDs in it apparently. Interesting. Okay, so the issue we've got is the indicator's not working. I wasn't sure what it was, but the side light is working, so I'm not sure if it's just the wiring going to the indicator or just the wiring going to the side light. But we've got it here. So this bit of wiring's working, but this isn't, and I'm guessing it's something to do with whatever's going on behind this bit of tape, really, because it's a pretty bad way to do it. Let's turn this heater away because it's bloody boiling. I think I might have found my issue. It's a really bad connector there. You can see, which I'm guessing is probably why that isn't working. That connector's got so old it's just deciding to just disintegrate and not really work too well. But we can cut a bit of cable out, spline these all together, and that'll work. Okay, so I didn't really film it because it was a bit of a struggle to film. But what I've done is I've cut the cables, re-splined them together, and they're still not working. So it must mean then that this actual unit here, because the bulb still works, but this doesn't. So that's something else we need to go and grab from the breaker's yard. That's quite easy, they don't use them, so we can grab them. I think we need to make a list of all the stuff that needs doing, I think. Which I think is going to be a very long list, unfortunately. But, oh well. Let's write this list. Alright. Separate the board because, well, so we need don't mind my spelling, I'm not perfect, and I'm very special. So we need a wiring loom for the indicator. We need a heater regulator for the inside. Basically what's going on is 1, 2 and 3 don't work, but when you're onto 4, the heater kicks in, and that's commonly as the heater regulator going. Same with the indicator, the wipers. The same, the intermittent wipers aren't working, where they just go and then wait for about 5 seconds and go again. But everything else is. What else needs doing? That rust panel. The rust panel needs doing. That's the next thing. As well as just sanding all the car. We also need to do an oil and filter change. Oil and filter change needs doing, and the inside of the car just needs putting back together, basically. Without that, I think that will come to all little gremlins that you do. The wind-up window regulator, that's just reminded me. Okay, window regulator, and we've got some new brake discs which are coming today, which we will do later. Okay, and I think, for the time being, that's everything we need to do. So yeah, I think that will be the end of today's video. This is basically just an introduction to everything that needs doing to this car, the car in general, everything we're going to be doing. So stay tuned, make sure you do all the usual stuff, all the liking, subscribing and all of that stuff, because this series will be continuing to go. We have already got a car lined up for this. We've got, once this is sold, we've got the Japan videos we're going to be doing when we go to Japan. And we may have found a car in Japan that we're going to be buying, driving in Japan, and then shipping all the way back to the UK, which will then be the new TSMG rig for any bits and pieces. Of course, you've got the big van, which will be a camper van, and that will be mainly for when we go up north to go Santa Pod, and when we go drifting, or when we've got my car back from the people because they're just taking their time. So when this car goes to get painted, we're going to send this car. Yeah, this car's going to go to them to get painted. I'm going to bring my car back, do the bits, then they're going to go back to them. And then we're going to do the dyno runs, everything else. And then bring this car back, put it up for sale, get it gone, get paid. Which is the main thing, what we want to do with these videos. But yeah, the next video, I'll already tell you because I'm literally about to film it now. We are going to do the, well, if you're coming to buy your first MX-5, these are the best things to go and look at when you're doing it. Because a lot of people ask me privately, you know, you've had your fair share of MX-5s. I've had about 7 at the moment. What do you look for when you buy an MX-5? And I thought I'm going to do a video here which goes out to everyone, which just shows what to look for, really. What you need to know, what you need to do, really. But yeah, without further ado, see you later. Like, subscribe and do all of that stuff. Please. Please.